Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to another Monday Morning Art Talk. Whippy! All right, so today I wanted to talk to you about just a conversation I had with an artist who works in the game industry, and I've spoken to many, and it wasn't till this last conversation that I had when I said, what the hell is going on? That this industry can be going in the direction that it is. It's going to combust. There's something, I don't know if you guys are aware or sort of know what's going on, but just a lot of chaos, madness, and bamboozling, and just almost a bunch of corruption on the side of the publishers. And the way that the artists are treated is unbearable and intolerable. And the games that these guys are developing and making that are world-class games, but these artists are just being abused to the point of almost slavery. You know, it's unfortunate that you get these guys you get these colleges and they're training them, and they suck them in and they throw them, they put them into these training them for the game industry. You get these young 20 to 30-year-old, kids getting into this thing just to find that it's not what it's all cracked up to be. And the amount of hours that, especially when it comes to crunch time, and these people as a game, is being developed. I mean, some games can take a long time to develop. You guys know, I don't know, maybe 5 to 7 years with some of them. And the thing that sucks about it is the people who are in management, they just don't give a rat's ass. They just don't care about, they don't even care about the games themselves. It's just like, I see it in the animation industry. You get these executives, they don't give a rat's ass about the animation and the stuff that's going to be on TV. I remember speaking to a development person one time I pitched a show to, and all she cared about was film, like just being a live action. That was her thing, live action. Like that's so much better, and that animation's this bastard stepchild of thing and doesn't really care about it. And that's the sad thing that's going on. And that's what I'm hearing in the game industry. These people, they're working, 60 to 80 hours a week. You're getting underpaid. You're constantly being, you're not even, the developers aren't even truly getting the time to develop, to do what they do. The thing is that these people, they just don't rely on the creative, because most of them are untalented. They have to justify their own positions. They're coming in, they're making stupid changes on games where people, these development teams, they're working, they're developing, they're putting something together that's going to be effective, just to be told that, well, why didn't you add some more of this and take some of that? Do you know how much work that is and what's involved? And like I've heard about, it's much better to just fail quickly and start from scratch. Just instead of all of a sudden going through all this process and having to make some stupid change, because the executive think, well, maybe having that character will be a little bit cuter. Not that they talk like that, but maybe add more color, do this and this stupid things again. Something that they're detached. They don't even get it. Most of the people that are working this industry, they don't even walk through a toy aisle. They don't even know what's going on in the toy section. They don't even know what kids are playing with or what people even want to do. So in turn, people are getting screwed left and right. And the thing that's, and it's sad, and there's this guy that I was talking to mentioned these big games that he worked on, and just how it was just like, the conditions are horrible. And then what happens is these people, these artists with the talent, and they're stuck in there and they work there, and it's like they don't want to leave, they don't know what to do. It's just like they deal with it and they don't see the way out. But I want to propose to you a way out. you guys. I want to propose a way to all you developers and you indie guys who have brains, who take initiative, who are passionate, who love games, who want to do something with this industry. You guys, we're turning into this market of the freedom. These guys are going to be running for the hills. They're going to be squirming for their job soon because the development, the access that we have. It's just like publishing. When I got into self-publishing, I went to publishers to try to get my book published. No. You don't draw sexy women enough. We want to see big naked boobs. And it's like, you know what? I don't want to do that. That's not what I do. I'm going to go the indie route and start publishing my own books. 8 books later, I'm publishing away, creating my own, just setting my own path, my own road, and that's what you gotta do. You gotta create and start your own path and your own route and knock these people out on the streets and let them squirm. Because as much as we need business people, as much as we need people who have the logic and maybe that left side of the brain where we're right brain, here's the thing. Creating a union is not gonna be the answer to this. It's not gonna solve the problem. We have a union in the animation industry. It does not solve the problem. Our union, unfortunately, isn't that great. We can't even strike in our union if we don't like something. And our union doesn't come to the table all the time when we need them. It's not changing anything. Some great benefits we get from the union, some great health benefits and some things. But the reality is having a union in this industry is not going to be the answer and is not going to solve this. What is going to solve this is the independent developers, the independent artists abandoning these, having to rely on these publishers. Again, you need the publishing. But when you think about the idea of what if all of a sudden you're kind of getting some publishers, these guys need to unite. You guys are the ones with the talent. All you guys, the developers, you guys, the makers are the ones with the talent. These publishers, these other people, they don't have the talent. They need you. Just like everyone needs an artist. They need us. And until we actually accept that and go, you know what, damn right. They're not doing anything without us. No one's even building a house without the plans, the architecture, the drawn out schematic of how it's going to work. What are they going to do? People are going to sit and have nothing to do. And so when we take control of you guys in the gaming industry and you start to form these independent and you guys support each other and you guys grab this talent and hey, you know what? You're real good at this and you're real good at this. And doing with that. And for all you business people out there, if you watch this, I don't know. But anyone who has that sense to say, you know what, I'm going to work with the artists. I'm going to be the one that's going to let the artists dictate the way that this should go. And I'm going to trust in their vision. And I'm going to do the marketing. And I'm going to go out with all the developers with their true sense of heart, and I'm going to carry that through. So if anyone wants to get into business, if anyone wants to develop something, if you say, what do I want to do in my life? What you need to do is just say, I'm going to get together a group of artists and I'm going to help these artists make something and we're going to develop it and we're going to do it independently. It's just when, again, I don't know all the end result of what's happening, say like a company like Supercell, but all I know is I went to go do a talk for these great group of artists at Supercell out in Finland. And I was blown away by what they were telling me and what I saw. And this company, if you guys are familiar with, the Clash of Clans and what Supercell is doing, a terrific, an amazing studio. This guy created, again, something from nothing. And you get these people together, and these guys work in pods of like 8 to 10 people, and they're left alone and no one bugs them, and they're there to try to create a game, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, their philosophy is fail fast, fail quickly, let's celebrate, or it didn't work out, let's move on to the next thing. And if more and more people do that, and they follow this model and stop relying on these big publishers to just come in, who don't give a rat's ass about the game, who are changing things every 2 seconds. And, you guys are going through hard enough time through the time when a game is being developed or shown and it looks like it's going to be one way, but the evolution of technology and software is changing. So it's like having to update and keep up with that. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you guys have to go through, and I'm not claiming that I know anything. I really don't. all I know is that I'm just thinking about things that I've heard, the misery that I see of people who are working in the game industry, the pure slavery, this not working, even a lot of studios not even paying overtime and not even getting. And not to mention just, the publishers blaming the developers because it didn't work out. Well, maybe if you let the developers do what they were going to do and let them pursue their vision and give them some creativity, maybe it's going to do well so that you're not just shutting down the studio and, hey, we need someone to blame. Well, let's blame these guys. It was a horrible game when maybe you were responsible and you were the problem and you're the reason that it went to hell in a handbasket. And now you've jeopardized all these other people's lives and jobs and making their lives miserable because you're making them work so much and not even giving them the freedom and the luxury of balance in their lives because of your indecisive nature. And that's a terrible thing. And this is why game artists especially are getting so screwed. I mean, it happens all in the industry, in the big movies and everything. You get these people who just got to justify their positions and come in and they have no talent and they don't know what it is. And everyone's like this bastard stepchild. They're just artists. They're just worker bees. They're meaningless. But until we take that control, and it's getting so much more easy now to publish your own stuff and do your own things and make these independent things. And if you just start, the thing is, you got to plant the seed now. You just got to start it and don't expect that it's going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen overnight. But think of where technology is going to be 10 years from now. What if you get that game started now and you're developing it and all of a sudden you get 1,000 people who love it. And each one of those 1,000 people are paying their $60 a game or something and they tell their friends and it goes to 2,000 and 3,000 and you're not spending freaking, I don't know, 60 million or whatever ridiculous amount, or 100 million that they spend, or 500 million on making a game, when you could do it for a lot less. It's the same way in the animation and in feature films where sometimes they waste so much time messing with these stories and let's change this, let's do all this, well, let's change it again, and the millions of dollars spent instead of, why don't we get this all figured out? And let's lay it all out and get the writing done and the script done and, and make it solid. And then we can just delegate the money in the right place and make something in half the time for a lot less and make everyone happy, make the artist happy. And what about in the gaming industry if you guys gave, I don't understand this philosophy. And until people understand that, how about a win-win situation? How about a win-win situation? How about if you help the people who are making your product great and you give them incentive and you give them a bonus? Could you imagine publishing companies if you gave your artists, I don't know, with these multi-million games that some of you guys are making out there, a $20,000, $30,000 bonus? How much do you think that these artists are going to want to work harder for you? That they want to be a part of that because they're getting something, there's incentive there for them instead of treating them like dirt. And it's just appalling and it's sickening and it's just like, and again, I know people are scared and they go, man, but what to do? It's like, this is where we're creative. We got to think, we got to make this happen. And sometimes it's just banding together and getting that right group of people and approaching other people. Maybe you go to a business school, maybe you show up at some top business school and say, all you business entrepreneurs out there, I want to tell you about a multi-billion-dollar industry that you can be a part of if you're willing to do this and you become the people in charge. It's like, hey, listen, you guys handle the marketing, you guys handle all the press, you guys handle the production schedule and all this. We need you. We do need you. But this is how it's going to be. And we're going to be the ones doing that. Think of how that maybe change can come about from that. Okay, so I think it just kind of like disgusts me and it just always gets me riled up and just so angry that, again, the advantage that people are taking care of because people realize that they can just take advantage of the artists, and most artists are just going to fall in line and they're going to become the ants and they're going to follow, but they're miserable and they're living lives of misery and they're getting burnt out. These artists are getting burnt out. Do you people, the executives in the publishing or whatever it may be, do you even care? Do you even care about their lives? You're just so wrapped up in your own life that you just care about your own, that you get to go on your vacations, that you make your own bonuses, you know, that you can mess up a game along the way because of your lack of ideas and lack of imagination and destroy a game and destroy people's lives. They don't care. So until I urge you, guys, developers, artists, you have to do this independently. You have to take control. You have to say that, you know what, we have the power, and that I'm not going to be dictated and live my life by what other people say and do and set. And again, it's going to take work. It's not going to be easy. I'm not going to say, oh, easy for you to say sort of mentality. Don't think like that. Think about, you know what, damn right, it's time to revolt. It's time to stand up. It's time to get your lives back. It's time to move to the next phase and even if you're working at these game studios, could you imagine if you guys band together, and just sort of, you don't even have a union right now, but you know, you most likely wouldn't even be able to strike anyway, but if all you guys just walked out, you know, collaboratively, what's going to happen with these people and sort of set demands? They did it. The Writers Guild did it. They were able to do it. The writers in the industry are able to stand their ground and, you know, I remember driving into Disney and stuff, and all the writers and their picketing signs and all this, trying to get their royalties and everything else. Why not? Why not? Why, you know what? Why not even try? Why not try? But don't think just by unionizing is going to change all this. What's going to happen is the union is going to get involved. You're going to have to end up starting paying a fee to the union. So now you're paying money out of pocket for the union, and just hope that this union is working in your best interest to protect you, to make sure that you're working just reasonable hours. But it's not going to stop all the madness of the executives changing their minds every 2 minutes because they're indecisive or they don't care about video games or even playing, because they'd rather be, you know, working in some feature film. You know, I can guarantee you what a lot of these guys come across and say from, you know, I'm not going to mention any names of studios or games just because I don't know all the story. I don't want to do that, but they're going to come and brag about, I worked on this game. That's my game. Oh, wow, you work on that game? Wow, you're so amazing. Wow, he's an executive at this studio and he works on that game. Yet you treat people like dirt, you know? So the thing is if you guys see independent game developers who are taking the initiative and have figured it out and have built up a team and working on their own thing and can start to get their own games published, look at how you can support them. Maybe there's Patreon, maybe there's Kickstarter, maybe there's Indiegogo, maybe there's something where people are trying to raise money. And that's the start, because could you imagine if you're taking your money, you get all these indie people who say, damn it, man, we're doing this. We're going to start our own game. We're going to do it our way and do what Supercell does. These guys are making billions of dollars, millions of dollars a day, you know, on these things. And, you know, if you guys band together and create this, and you make this happen, and all of a sudden an artist comes out, hey man, I'll support $10, $10, and you guys get funded, and all of a sudden it becomes a success. What does that do? That leads the way for the other independent artists to start building something too. And then what will happen is hopefully these people who they got the support, you know what they're going to do because you supported their game. When it's time for you to do your own, they're going to support you, and they're going to support you. And all of a sudden, all these publishing companies and these people who aren't taking care of the developers or helping the game designers and everyone else out are going to look back and go, what the hell's going on, man? What the hell's going on? We gotta fix this. We gotta do something. They're gonna be squirming, and then it's gonna be, hey, you guys want to come back to the table? Let's go. Let's talk. This is the way it's gonna be. You're going to work for us, and, you know, and set a new precedent and make this work, because this industry is way too big. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. Okay, just the entertainment industry, animation, movies, games. We are the entertainment of this world. We provide the entertainment of this world. Movies, animation, gaming, licensing, toy design, toy development, just you name it. It's everything our world is made of. Architecture are the artists. So why are we letting these guys dictate what it is. Now, we all have to work and make a living, and we're going to work for people, and there's great clients. I've worked in this industry since I'm 45 years old. I've been working since I was 18. I work with so many good people. I work with so many good clients. I work with so many good animation studios. I work with so many great advertising studios, because if they understand and can work with the artists and are open to just that, it's a great working thing. So that's the thing you got to remember. I'm not trying to paint a broad picture that everyone sucks and everyone's horrible, but there's a lot of corruption going on in these studios and working these artists to death and then just firing them because the game didn't work out. And there's this whole metric thing. I don't know. I don't even understand it. This whole metateric thing that goes on where the people try with the advertising and try to make, you gotta get that game's numbers up straight away. There's a whole system. I don't even pretend to understand it. All I know that it sounds like a lot of madness to me. And I hope that you guys will spread this. I hope you guys will share this amongst your fellow gamers. I hope that you let everyone know, and just something to think about. Just something, look at each other and go, you know what? Next time you guys go to lunch tomorrow, start having the conversation. Start putting together a plan. That's all you need is a goal. All you need is a plan. Yeah, I know you guys have brilliant ideas and you pitch it to publishing companies and they reject it because they think it's a stupid idea. And you get rejection after rejection. That's dumb. And then again, these people coming in thinking they know what's best. Okay, and just not even sometimes giving the chance for the indie, because we just got to focus on these big games just because that's the brand, that's the thing. It's the same thing that happens in animation and in feature animation, just regurgitating just these same movies over and over again, because they got the brand. Okay, we've established, we put all that money, but instead of trying to do something new. But you know what's funny? When you look at some of the biggest movies that have made a splash in history or anything else, the biggest games or anything else, have been those new ones. It was a new one, like this independent movie. Like I think about some of Quentin Tarantino's movies that all of a sudden, it was just like, whoa, what is this movie? This is awesome. And you get these new things that pop out because people are sick and tired of the same old thing. We don't want the same old thing anymore. It's time to move on and do something new. There's always new audience. There's new market. People want fresh ideas. So stop focusing on the old stuff, It's just like, let those new ideas, how many shows get rejected and pitched because an executive hasn't seen it before? Well, it doesn't sound like it's the Terminator to me, or it doesn't sound like it's a movie that I've seen before, so why am I going to do it? What's the point of that? We got the power. We got the power. We got the power. Have those lunches, have those meetings. Just plant the seed, guys. Again, sweat equity is what you're going to be putting in the beginning. Just realize that. So as you're working for these companies, and try to give yourself 30%. Do that 70-30 rule or 80-20 rule. And that's give your best to a company that you're working for, 70%, 80%. But the rest of the time, you got to start investing in yourself, because those guys are going to kick you out at the door the minute they feel they're done with you. You're done. And then what are you going to do? Because you've spent no time for yourself, on yourself. You've just given all your guts and glory to someone who, in all honesty, most of the time doesn't even give a rat's ass about you or your family or your well-being, because you're just an artist. You're just a developer. You're just a programmer. Guys, make the change. Don't think that the union's going to be the solving force behind this. Don't do it. Move on, plant the seed, make it happen today. Just start, plant it. Know that it's going to nurture it. Know that it could be 5-7 years from now, but do it. Make it happen. Start the revolution. Make it happen, guys. Go get them. I was so horrified by what I heard this guy who works in the game industry tell me. And again, these other people I meet at conventions, I'm so horrified by it. Make the change. Don't let this continue. It only continues because you give them the fuel to let them continue this. They need you so bad. Stand your ground. Make it right. Come on. Let's do it. Let's go. Have a great week. If you live in Orlando, Florida, be sure to check out my upcoming workshop next month.